All right, let's get into it.
You want to start it? Should we start?
Might
it?
as well,
Let's
because we know who number one's going to be.
Well,
so let's just get there.
With you, we never know. All right, time to get into the Chris Simms 2023 running back draft prospect rankings. We broke these down into tiers once again, and maybe this is a shock to some people. There are 2 running backs in your tier number 1.
Well, yes. You know, there's one guy that's number 1, but I'm going to put the other guy in the tier with him because it's special. So I'm not going to just let him, be discredited for what he does.
Right. Your number 1 running back in this class is
Bijan Robinson. Yes, Bijan Robinson is special. It's rare that a guy comes around with this complete of a package, right? And what do you mean? What I mean by that more than anything, I mean, first off, he's got good size at 5'11", 215, right? You know he can run and all of that, but it's not just like, okay, yeah, he can run. It's the way he runs and cuts and re-accelerates and stops and then can go again. First off, can do it all. And what I mean by that is jump cuts, right? So he can get in a position like a Barry Sanders and make you fall over one way, or he could go, I'm running really fast this way and I need to make a right-hand turn and I'm just going to plant my left foot in the ground and go. I'm not going to break down and try to break your ankles. I'm just going to be kind of a slasher and just hit it and go and never lose speed. So he can kind of do both, to where an outside zone team's going to go, oh, I like him. And then the team that goes, ooh, we like to pull our guards and have our guy read the block and set up the block, they're going to go, oh, he can do that too. And then the team that goes, oh, well, I'd like to throw the ball, 90 to 100 times and running back out of the backfield for the year. Oh, well, he can do that too. So that's where you get into it. He's a natural that way. He is speed and make you miss and outrun you and make you look silly and everything that way. And that's where he's awesome. And, of course, he's got the, pass game ability and route running ability of, Christian McCaffrey. I mean, we're talking about another guy like him, Bijan Robinson, and this guy you even see it more than Bijan Robinson, who can really be a receiving threat. And like a McCaffrey, tailback one play, next play, be back in the slot, whatever, right? But I'll say this, all right? Here's my first big comment about him. He reminds me of a Dalvin Cook, right? He's maybe not as as thick as Dalvin Cook. He's a little smaller. Or the other guy I wrote, he's Travis Etienne. I honestly thought his film was better than Travis Etienne. But Etienne is a guy that, again, has about 15, 17 pounds on him. So there's a little difference there as far as, how comfortable teams are you with that size, right? He's bigger than your typical third down running back, and his speed and acceleration is, it's off the charts good. His top end speed, like I said, like we were talking about, I think it's probably the best in the draft out of the running back position. When you just talk about has a seam, 80 yards to the house, catch a shallow cross or something out of the backfield, turn it upfield, that's where he definitely separates from the pack. And
just from watching it, doing the Ahmed Fareed scouting, where you give me the list and then I go look at the highlight film. I don't see any of the bad. I'm like, these guys are all awesome. He sets up defenders.
Incredible,
and the juking,
right?
And almost to the point where maybe there are times where they're just just run.
Go.
You're fast enough, you can get by him.
Right.
But the way that he can just little subtle movements with his hips and knees to set up defenders was pretty awesome.
He can kind of go and he kind of hops and he makes you think, hey, he's going to the left, he's going to the left, he's going to the left, and he kind of goes to the left. And then he can just stop and go to the right, but set it up to where the defender moves with him and that move to the left, and now the guy in front of him is in a great position just to wall him off, and he cuts off his out. His vision, I thought, was off the charts good. In fact, I thought it was really probably the best in the draft altogether. He's not going to break you down and do that crossover Allen Iverson stuff, but what he is going to do is full speed, little wiggle, nothing great, but stick his foot in the ground and put his head down and run you over. And then his acceleration, he's the biggest guys we've talked at this point. He's 220, and his acceleration is real. It's right up there in the same class as Bijan Robinson and Gibbs when he takes off.
I think it might be exactly the same 10-yard split. I have 1.52 here, and I remember Gibbs was like 1.52, and then
so
Bijan was 1.52.
Listen, when I saw this kid hit the hole the first time, I went, damn, okay. This was like watching Gibbs or Bijan. I was going, okay, whoa, the whole is the same.
Yeah,
now,
Gibbs. So here's the numbers. So Gibbs' 10-yard split was 1.52, same as Johnson. But Gibbs' 40-yard dash was 4.36, which is in the 97th percentile, and the 40-yard dash for Johnson was 4.58, which is in the 40th percentile.
Yeah, he hits a point in his game there where, he just doesn't have the long speed. He's not that kind of guy. But when you talk about tough, realistic NFL yards like we talk about, and a ton of great 10 and 12 and 15 type yard runs, he's going to be great at that. The change of direction movements, you watch Syracuse right off the bat. I mean, you talk about breaking ankles. This guy can break ankles in serious ways. He's got unbelievable jump cuts, and also hips are really good too. So not only, that's another part of sometimes those straight liners, they can't weave and do all that. He can jump cut, make you miss, or be upright and kind of just weave through traffic. Am I explaining that the right way? Mm-hmm. Right? Where he just can kind of lean and be loose as he's kind of running through a straight line, but varying off of it a little bit without breaking down or making a sharp cut, right? He can kind of hey, I'm off the guard. Hey, there's a receiver downfield. And he just keeps running. He just kind of weaves and bobs. That's what I'm trying to say by that, right? So he is really good. And like I said, the jump cutting is insane. I mean, it's as good as anybody in this draft as far as that department. And then, the power for his size, the low center of gravity. I mean, it's another thing that just jumps out to you when you go, how many times does he run up into a hole and there's not really anything there? And he pushes it forward for another 3 or 4 yards. So this is not just some space, break your ankles, highlight type runner here. There's a little meat and potatoes to this guy. Runs through a ton of arm tackles, and that's where his quickness comes in too. He didn't always have great blocking up there, so he'd make people miss beyond the line of scrimmage. They'd have an arm around him. He'd pull away, turn around the corner, and all of a sudden it's a 20-yard gain. I mean, he's a really impressive football player. And see, this is why it's guys like this that make the whole market go down, because we're talking about the fourth running back, and you hear how awesome I'm talking about him.
Yeah.
He's a starting NFL running back. And, he's probably not going to go in the top 50 picks of the draft. He is a little more, this is all about violence and twitch. There's not going to be a ton of ankle break, and it's hit the hole 1,000,000 miles per hour. I got to make a right-hand turn, and I'm going to do it 900 miles per hour. I'm not going to break down or break your ankles or anything. That's what this guy is, right? So acceleration's really good. Top-end speed's not as good as his 4.43 combine speed would say. But, man, as an all-around player, there's nothing the guy can't do. He is good in the pass game. He's more of a slasher than a jump cutter, but still can do that. And he has the type of speed to bounce it around the edge and get a big one, too. I'm not saying it's Gibbs speed, but it's big-time speed where he can certainly rip off a 40-yarder around the edge.
Yeah, 5'9", 209, turned 23 a couple of weeks ago. So I guess Illinois has an identity. They got some physical dudes.
They
Devin
really
Witherspoon,
do.
Your number one corner.
They really do.
Most physical guy in the draft.
And this guy, for a 5'9" running back, I mean, he's physical. Again, he's a little bit of a, like I said, it's a slasher. When he wants to make a cut, he does it with his feet. It's not wiggle and like that. You know what I'm saying? He's going to, I'm going to break my feet down. I'm going to pitter-patter, and I'm going to cut this way really. But he can do it really quick and really fast. And, of course, his ability to accelerate is close to those top guys we've talked about. It's not quite there, but, man, he is tough as hell. He is not afraid to lower his head on anybody. And he carried the workload.
So we'll get into the honorable mentions here in a second, but let's just recap it, take a look, what we did. 2 in Tier 1. That might be maybe the biggest surprise here. You had Bijan Robinson, number 1, but you also like Jahmyr Gibbs there, too. Roschon Johnson, another Texas guy. What if, I
feel like the only thing that's the Bijan Robinson Gibbs thing is really just the size thing, right? It's like 16 pounds, and that's the only difference in a lot of ways.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.